Are you from the 2000s? Do you remember this? Well, there's more we're gonna explore in today's video. And don't worry, soon I will release more news and probably the trailer for my feature, for my very first feature. It's finishing, I already updated some news to my filmmaking channel. Go check out. It's appearing somehow here. And soon you'll have the opportunity to watch the movie. So today we're gonna explore the 2000s. The 2000s. Do you remember the 2000s? This was crazy by the time. This was crazy. I'm from the late 2000s. My childhood is more directed to the 2010s, to the early 2010s, but I still got many from the 2000s and even the 90s and 80s, but more 2000s, and that's where we're gonna explore today. Nostalgia. 2000s nostalgia. Let's go start. First of all, who never had one of these? These were essentials. If you never had one of these, you're not from the 2000s. If you always used all digital, you're not from the 2000s. You're probably from Gen Alpha, probably, or you probably. But every kid you would search in the neighborhood in the neighborhood had these things, always CDs with music, maybe even piracy, maybe movies, maybe games from, I don't know, magazines. You remember magazines? Dude, these things are classic. Dude, I didn't have much where to play CDs, but I had many. I miss CDs and DVDs. I love physical media. Damn it. That should come back. That should definitely come back. Physical media, come back, please. And now. Do you remember these BlackBerry phones? Those goddamn white phones with a white. Somehow they had a white screen. Like, so, most of them had colors, and they were still with keyboard in the late 2010s, where iPhone was starting to dominate. Dude, these things were the most powerful thing, the biggest piece of phone you could have by the time. Dude, these were probably the ultimate age of non-touch phones. Do you still remember that you could play music with and go around with your phone without Spotify and all that stuff? I hate Spotify. Just say I hate that thing. Could go with your BlackBerry or any phone, maybe the early Nokias from the 2000s. It was super cool, and the early phones with colors. Chef's keys. And now I want to ask you something. Do you remember this sound? I'm not gonna show you now, but I wanna ask you if you remember this sound. Every 2000s kids know this. Dude, who doesn't know this? The Microsoft goddamn Experience was the very first personal computer for most people, especially in the early and even late 2000s, where people were starting using more computers, were going to XP instead of going full Windows Vista or 7 or even, I don't know, maybe the Mac OS from that era. But if you don't remember this sound, you never had a computer, or you're a Apple lover. If you don't know this sound, you're an Apple nerd. That's what I have to tell you. And now, talking about Windows, this is music to my ears. It already finished? Okay. This is music to my ears, dude. The Windows Vista is such a classic. Was also used on Windows 7, but Windows Vista is the real classic in my opinion. I love Windows Vista. Most people hate because it wasn't compatible with most computers by the time, and it was very heavy. I can understand. And then came Windows 7 and everybody loved. But I look at Windows 7, even if they look familiar, I can't use Windows 7. I would use Windows Vista again because it's classic, especially the intro. And when you shut it down, classic sounds, classic operating system, like all the environment classic. Now, do you remember this? Listen carefully, because if you're more to casual game and had handheld consoles already, this is not a classic from my childhood, but I have one, and I know this was a hit in the 2000s, especially between the middle and late 2000s. Many people loved this. Dude, right here. This is just amazing. It's out of battery, god damn it. This sound every time you turn it on to play, maybe on the go, maybe you're on your journey, maybe you're going from let's say from Texas to Florida. In a flight to Texas to Florida, you bored, you're gonna play PSP with this classic sound, you there with your headphones, or even watching movies. Do you remember the PSP could be able to watch movies officially with UMDs? That's classic. You will be there watching your movies or playing any Crash Bandicoot, any SpongeBob game, anything. Maybe God of War. Do you remember the classics? The classic God of War games. Those are massive. The new ones, they're not bad, but I don't like them compared to the old ones. Especially the God of War 3 is my favorite. By the time you wouldn't jailbreak, I think, and the compatibility with the PS3 made it even more useful and worth it to buy. The PS3 was too expensive, so if you wanted something like the PS3 by the time when the PS3 released, especially by 2008, if you don't remember the crisis with finances, all of that, yeah, the best choice you would get, it was a PS2 or a PSP. They were affordable by the time, and everyone was loving the PSP for being portable, and now it cold too. It's a classic. I'm gonna show you also some more things that weren't part of my childhood at all, and I might never used, but I know they were classics for the 2000s, so let's explore. If you're a Nintendo nerd, you might remember this, and if you're from the 2000s, no, it's not the Wii. Well, the Wii, it's a big classic, and I really love to have a Wii. Wii, it's a very worthy console. Even today, the PS5 is not worth it at all, in my opinion. I don't want that console. Let's see. Do you know how many memes this originated? Look at the title, Nintendo GameCube intro, original, not a meme. But if you search for it, dude, the GameCube, well, look at this. There are plenty of memes with this logo. Just watch. I wasn't expecting that, but there are so many memes, even more creative than this. For some reason, the GameCube is a classic, but didn't reach the popularity of the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 2 still hit until today, especially with gaming nerds. No offense with nerds. It had many problems. It especially was the first Nintendo console using CDs. No, using DVD, compact disc, but now DVD, but they were too small, which made them be a bit more, have better graphics than the PlayStation 2, but the PlayStation 2 had more store memory power that, for example, PS2 could have over 4.4 gigabytes of memory in a single DVD for a game. If you see most PS1 games, many PS1 games that are very long, they have like 2, 3, 4 compact discs just to have the whole game to play. For example, Final Fantasy VII has 3 CDs, at least in the European version. I don't know how it is in the American version, but I know that it has 3 CDs for a that's an RPG game that I don't know if it pushed the limits of the console, but yeah, it was the first time Nintendo came to the 2000s and the first time they introduced it, the compact disc on their consoles. Now I want to ask you if you are from the 2000s and you had those small phones, you might remember this. If you had a phone and if you're not from the 2000s and you never had a ringtone like this, you're not from the 2000s. I'm sorry telling you, you're not from the 2000s. This ringtone, everybody had this ringtone. Many people also had Over the Horizon, which is a classic from Samsung. You remember that bang? Like, let me show you. This was a hit, especially. I don't know what's happening at Samsung to create this type of intro. This version is from 2019, but Over the Horizon has been used over and over in every phone, in every Samsung phone, every year, but with little adaptation. Now, if you're from the late 90s, what else? If you're from the late 90s, you might remember this. No, you might know this at all. And if you're from the 2000s, you might know this better. Dude, you were ready to watch your Cars movie, which is a classic. Your what other classics from Disney from the 2000s? Like Finding Nemo. Like Finding Nemo, Ratatouille classics, Cars Up, Monsters Inc. These classic movies, you will always watch this classic intro. Pixar has created something amazing with Disney. Now, if you were some kind of gamer, even a casual gamer in the 2000s, like you had your maybe PS2, GameCube, Xbox, anything from the 2000s, you will remember this classic sound. And I also remember that it's considered the loudest sound ever created. We're going to another universe like this, like if you were like at the speed of light to going to visit. Now, if you used to watch videos in DVD, on the DVD, and in the 2000s, there's a probability you watched this once or more than once, because this will come talking about piracy. You know, probably, you know, it's a classic. You remember this from the, dude, it's like you can't do piracy. Piracy is a crime. Like you wouldn't steal a bed, you wouldn't steal a television. This is a classic. You wouldn't steal a movie. That's what it's all about. See? Downloading pirate films is stealing, literally. And this was very common in the 2000s. People will do this all the time, so they created this. Piracy is a crime. Every time you would start a movie, watching on DVD, and maybe early Blu-ray, I think, you would watch this. Dude, there was 99% chances you would watch this. This is classic. And now a personal favorite, never had, but it's a personal favorite. I really like this. It's this one. If you were a player in the mid 2000s, you will remember the Xbox 360 or the PS3. The Xbox 360 came before the PS3, 1 year. But this was a hit, especially with the franchise Halo that had been established before with the classic Xbox in still in the early 2000s from 2001. And of course, this is one that I had that I will never forget. And if you had, you will probably remember this. This is just a classic. You will understand. Every time you will turn this on, it was a mess. It was massive. It was loud. It wasn't as epic as the classic intro. Like the classic intros was like a teletransportation to like a new world behind this intro screen. The PS3 was a bit more simple, but was still epic, and a classic that I had was my very first console, and it was really cool. I remember playing like GTA 5, God of War 3. Well, talking about the PS3 in general was a classic, the first ever PlayStation with wireless controllers. Very cool. Now, for the casual gamers from the 2000s, might remember this. You will remember this probably. Every Wii song, not just Wii Sports, but every single Wii song, it's a meme. Every single one. Even the Mi channel music, the Mi channel and the Wii Store channel. Do you remember this? This is a classic meme. This you would listen this from classic YouTube. Classic YouTube was the best thing by the time. And also, as I said, the Wii Store channel. This is also a classic meme. It's like it was so simple for casual players. It was the way Nintendo had to show us why we play games for fun, not for anything else, not to stress, not anything else, for fun. And the Wii, with its classic music, classic minimalist marketing, because they didn't want to compete with other consoles, just became one of the best consoles ever made. And with this classic elevator music, just elevated its popularity, especially in meme and internet culture. And now, if you're really from the 2000s, I want to ask you this. Dude, you need to know this. People will, if you ever use Skype, you will never forget this classic song. Skype died, unfortunately, already, but this is classic. First coming in 2003, it would run on your Windows XP, on your Windows Vista 7. You will just download from the official website, and you're done. You can make your phone calls. This one no one will never forget. This was a hit, especially since it first came out for the PS2. This was a PS2 exclusive for about a year, but it really raised its sales. It is the best selling PS2 game ever, over 40 million copies sold. It was insane. But now, just to finish, well, not gaming, but to finish in general, well, we gotta have this classic. This is a classic, especially the classic intro. Every time you would start watching this intro, you will know immediately. The movie is gonna be great or it's gonna be terrible. This classic intro shows everything. It's the best we've got. There's Warner Bros. Intro, there's Fox Studios intro, but nothing like Universal's intro. It's so cinematic, so classic, so amazing. The globe, literally, it's such a classic intro. And that was it. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe and leave the like button. Comment down below what you think about it and share with your friends. And if you're also from the 2000s, tell me what more do you remember? I could make a part 2. And what other things I could have shown here or maybe talk more about. Well, I hope you like and see you in the next video. Don't forget to check my filmmaking channel, also the news about my future film. Then I will release the trailer as soon as I finish the final cut. And for now it's all. I hope you have a good day. Bye bye. What? No, no, no!